Hello, everyone. Can you see me? Can you hear me? I hope everyone's doing well. Wait for a couple people to hop on. Hello. Sorry, guys, I'm not full glam because I actually have a fever. I have a fever right now. It's at, let's see, 99.5 or something like that. So if I'm a little spacey, that's why. But I'm here. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, we already have so many people. Hello. Hello, hello. Again, forgive me that I'm not glam. I have a fever. Um,
Still recovering.
yeah, and yeah, my mom's over here. She's like, "You're still recovering from a lot." I'm like, "Yes, I definitely am." Yeah. Okay, so I actually have someone who's wanting to come in. His name is Crease. He's helped me a lot through this Cosmo journey. Oh, thank you. Sin Chow, Sin Chow. Mwah, mwah. Love to you guys. I love you so much. Thank you. Hang on, let's see. Let's see if I can get Crease in here. Crease? Hello, hello everyone. Grease, how are you?
I'm excited.
Well, I'm glad you're excited.
Let me just wear my headscarf because I was wearing a headscarf earlier. Hold
No
on.
worries. No worries. Take your time. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Don't worry, we're gonna get to all the questions, everything. I wish I could screen record this. If someone wants to screen record it and send it to me later, because whenever we go back into the into my archives to post it, I don't get the comments. So, hello. Oh, I like your headscarf. It's pretty.
Yeah, I'm here again. Hi guys.
Hello,
How
hello.
are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Not real great to be honest. I'm kind of struggling to be here right now. I have a fever,
Mm-hmm.
and I still have my injuries from the pageant, and then injuries from directly after the pageant. Um, two sprained ankles, a tailbone injury, a pinched nerve in my neck, which
Oh
leads
my God.
down to my back, my arm, and my neck, obviously. And then there's a couple other things wrong with me. There's a few things I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I had pneumonia. I still have pneumonia. The doctor yesterday, I went last or talked to the doctor last night, and she was like, "I don't think you ever got over your pneumonia." I was like, "That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense."
Well, and you were supposed to have a lot of sleep. Sleep, sleep,
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah. And like I said, guys, my mom's here because my mom and my sister are a huge part of this too because they put so much investment into this, not just me.
Yeah.
So I was like, guys, you should talk on here too if you have something to say. So. Yeah, they're here, especially because I don't feel well, so they know I'm like a little bit dead. So they're gonna help me out a little bit.
So, so how are we gonna start this? Uh-huh.
I think just start from the beginning. Hello guys, thank you so much for all the love in the comments. I'm reading and talking. Don't think I'm not reading, so I might miss some, but mwah. I think I should probably just start from the beginning and crease, or if anyone has any questions, probably with the comments and the questions, I'll probably go through those at the end, unless I see one that kind of jumps out. But yeah, so I think probably start out from the very beginning, back with my national director,
Mm-hmm.
which he might be watching right now. He might not. I'm not sure.
We don't care.
Um, well, if you are, hello. But I think probably start back from the beginning when I was preparing to go to Cosmo. I was preparing to go to Vietnam, which I was so excited. And first off, I want to say I love Vietnam. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, what happened? What happened with this, that? Why did you leave Vietnam? We've treated you so well." And you absolutely have. This is no reflection on Vietnam, the Vietnamese people. I adore you. You guys have treated me like family. So I adore Vietnam, adore everyone that I've met. I just wanted to get that out there first. But yeah, so it was back from my preparation to go to Cosmo, to go to Vietnam. And I had been preparing for what, 3 months, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Day and night, not letting up, working really hard. And I was always asking my national director for some information because I'd received a lot of links and a lot of forms for me to fill out for like Cosmo requesting information from me, which is of course expected. But I wasn't receiving any information. You know how normally you get like a welcome package or like a handbook or something like that. I didn't receive any of that. and I was a little bit confused because normally, when you go into a big caliber pageant like Cosmo, they have it all laid out. They've got a game plan. And I didn't see that at all, and I was a little bit worried. I was nervous, especially because going to Cosmo, I didn't have any contact for the national office or anyone in Vietnam. I had no contact for anyone. So what my national director told me was, yes, you're going to go to Vietnam with no contact, no nothing. You're just going to get on a plane, you're going to go. And keep in mind, my national director wasn't going with me either, so I was going to be completely alone. Which was, I was willing to do it, but it was definitely scary. But what I wasn't willing to do is go without a contact for the national office or anyone in Vietnam, because that's just, I feel like that's a little bit of a safety thing. I should have someone to contact if something were to go wrong.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't really make sense. So.
Because he said when you landed, they would contact you and you would be put on a text list and you would have your instructions from there.
Right, yeah. He said when I landed in Vietnam, thank you, I forgot that part. When I landed in Vietnam, that I would be put in like a WhatsApp group or something like that. And that's how I would get my updates, my things, and everything. But I wasn't, allowed to be in the national director group or anything like that. But because I asked if I could because I wasn't receiving any information and I thought it was really odd. And I was just scrambling because I didn't have any information, but I was like, okay, me and all the other girls were probably in the same boat. We're just going to do it. We're going to power through it and we're going to go. And we're going to compete. And we're going to have fun. We're going to go to win. But coming to when I go to leave, I go to board the plane for Vietnam.
But you weren't going to go. You told Brian.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying I'm saying, hang on. I'm saying that without information about like packing list and different things like that. I wasn't going to go if I didn't have a contact for Cosmo or someone in Vietnam. And I told him, I was like, you should probably start looking for another representative because I'm not going to go. That's a big safety hazard. Eventually, he did give me a contact, which was great. But it took me threatening to not. It took me threatening to resign, not threatening, but saying that I will resign in order to get a contact for Cosmo or for someone in Vietnam because that's a safety hazard. I'm not going to go halfway across the world and I don't speak the language and all these things. It's just not something I want to do.
Didn't make sense. Something was really odd.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. Something was just off, and my gut feeling was kind of like, there's something really off here. But fast forward to getting on the plane to go to Vietnam, I never received the welcome letter or the requirements for our interview video, for our introduction video, for our national costume video, and for several other things that Cosmo had provided my national director months beforehand. So I never I never received any of that information. No welcome letter, nothing. And in the welcome letter contained 2 contacts for the national office, which is something I had been bugging my national director for months. That's what I said I would resign over, not having a contact. It contained all the information about visas, about how I'd be picked up from the airport, about safety. Cosmo gave a long list of like a safety briefing. And I never received any of that, and also never received the packing list. So I received the packing list just a couple days before I received the welcome letter, which again, I received the welcome letter and the video requirements the day I was supposed to be on the plane for Vietnam. So it was really stressful. Just a little stressful.
Yeah, so
again, Cosmo provided all of this information that I didn't have to be scrambling around for. Yet I wasted so much of my time, trying to look for these requirements about my passport, my visa, safety things, a contact for Cosmo, and probably other things that I'm not remembering right now because I have a fever and I'm I'm kind of sick right now. But it honestly really broke my heart because I was like, oh my gosh, all the other contestants have probably received this information, and I'm scrambling around. I'm put at a big disadvantage right now because also with the video requirements, after I received this information, I delayed my flight for 2 or 3 days? My flight was delayed for
Which was very expensive.
Very expensive to do. Delayed the flight for 2 or 3 days. I stayed up for those 2 or 3 days, no sleep, because I was trying to meet all the video requirements, which I did end up meeting them, but it wasn't professional videos. It wasn't anything great. Actually, I couldn't meet the requirement for my national costume video because you can't do
Yeah,
that.
so
You
yeah,
know.
sorry.
Um,
Yeah, sorry to cut you. We're just reading some of the questions. So yeah, some of them were saying that you're so some of them are saying that you're so beautiful, stuff like that. Yes, and
Thank you.
yes, and they want to ask ask the real reason why you left the competition. Like I've been seeing varieties of those questions. So maybe we can answer that. Like why did you leave?
So it's a little bit of a build up. So that's one kind of why I wanted to start there at the beginning because
Background.
I wanted to give a little bit of a
Mhm.
background.
Yes.
So again, I delayed my flight for 3 days, didn't sleep, didn't do anything except for work on that on those video excuse me on those videos. And so fast forward to when I got to Ho Chi
Actually,
Minh.
you got to go backwards because the
Backwards
first
again.
photo
Oh yeah.
on the video, and your video was changed, and your photo was changed.
Right, right,
You
right.
were upset.
Yes.
And what did he
Okay.
tell
I
you?
got it. Thank you. When I submitted my photo, this goes into why I left. When I submitted my photos, I submitted like maybe five, and I submitted them directly to my national director. He submitted them to Cosmo, except they were highly, highly photoshopped. You guys may remember the photo that it was supposed to be my glamour photo. I'm in white, and I have a really big smile on my face.
It's not
That's
you.
not
It's not.
her.
It's not me. It's not me. All the photo. I'm serious. That is not a photo of me.
Yeah.
It's completely photoshopped, edited AI. It's not my face.
They
And
put it on the
they
video.
they yeah, they put it on the Cosmo Internationals. They put it on the cover for the video of my one of the introduction videos that they put on Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's not me. But I was like, who did they use as the cover on there? And I looked at it, I was like, that's my dress. That's not my body in it. That's not my face. That's not my hair. And I really didn't know what happened. And I contacted my national director. I was like, hey, so did you edit this photo or did Cosmo? And he goes, and I have the screenshots for this. I have all the receipts. I have everything. He goes, oh no, it wasn't me. And then later, I come to find out that it indeed was him. It was not any fault of Cosmo
Right,
for the
but
photoshopping.
tell them
And
what he said about
I'm
Cosmo.
getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, what he said about Cosmo was, and this was on the phone, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I have a screenshot for this, but I'm pretty sure he said that there were kids working within Cosmo and they just did that and take it as a compliment because they took the time to Photoshop your photo. It's a bunch of kids in there. They don't really know what they're doing and things like that, and not to worry about it. And I was like, okay, if this is just the way that Cosmo is, maybe other girls have had it happen to them. It's
But
just
he said he would
it
take
is
care of
what it
it.
is. But yeah, yeah, he said he would take care of it and that the photo wouldn't be used again. And I was heartbroken that the photo got used once because I was like, this isn't me. And believe me, the comments were not kind on the photo. And I didn't really take offense to the comments because I was like, well, it's not me, so I don't. But they hurt my reputation though because everyone did believe that photo was me. And it majorly damaged my image because everyone's like, oh, I thought she had the best face of the pageant, because that's what a lot of the fan pages were saying and things like that. So it majorly hurt my brand and it majorly hurt me. Even though the comments weren't directly to my face, I was like, they still believe that's me. They still think I did that to my photo and that's me. And it was just a lot to deal with at the time, especially because it was just everything was coming together all at one time. But so I forget where I was even going with this, but I
That ended up being a bone of
yeah,
contention
that yeah,
all
that
along, and
definitely,
yeah.
definitely ended up being a bone of contention the whole time, especially because Brian told me that he would take care of it and that he did take care of it. And then it comes to also when voting came along and when we had our photos up on the website, the brand new Cosmo website, which was beautiful. Um, I noticed that they used a photo screenshot off my Instagram and the quality was really bad. And I was like, oh my gosh, why would they do that? Like that I gave them a lot of good photos. You know, Brian had said he liked the photos and that there's nothing wrong with them. They're professional. And I was like, why would they screenshot um, photos off my Instagram and use that on the official website? I don't understand. Come to find out, you know, my national director only submitted a couple and they were highly edited.
It appeared though, London, it appeared, I don't know, Loy, in the group that we were speaking in, it appeared that Loy only received the one bad photo that was
Yes.
AI generated. But I don't know that for a fact, but that was the insinuation.
Yes.
There are screenshots and there are lots of receipts about how they refused to really acknowledge the defamation that was happening to London.
Right.
And I think that, Lloyd did offer to take it off, and then he reneged and
Right.
refused to take it off.
Right. Because at the pageant, my photo was still being used, even though I had submitted, or the other photos had been submitted lots of times after Brian submitted only the AI generated
Right.
one.
So, London,
So-
you submitted photos to Lloyd directly.
Right. I submitted photos to Lloyd directly. Lloyd's with his Cosmo organization, and again, they continued to use the AI generated photoshopped photo that wasn't me. So that and
And they did not, I know, they knew they did not have permission. They knew that it
yes,
was,
I immediately
she's
asked them,
getting,
please take that down. Do not use that photo again.
and you were getting bad comments.
Yeah, I was getting very
They were-
highly negative
people-
comments, which I'd never gotten before on any of my real photos. So it was just, and again, I'm at the pageant, I'm sick, I'm doing the most I possibly can, no sleep, and it's just, it was a lot because, you know, I've put a lot into this. My family's put a lot into this, and this is, my heart and soul and money and blood, sweat and tears and everything into this, and I'm being judged off this photo. And it's hurting my brand, hurting my chances because this is voting. This was everything. And meanwhile, I'm getting all these negative comments from fans. That's not what normally happens. So it was just a real big bone of contention, especially because I was promised it would be taken off and a new glamour shot would be used. That never happened. It was days after I had new glamour shots done. I had my by Cosmo glamour shots done, my videos retaken, everything that it's my bad photo was still used up there. I don't even like saying my photo because it's not my photo.
So
But
yeah, so I think just to sum it up for the for those who are waiting, I think the reason why London backed out is number one, her health, because she's not in her best state.
no,
From
that wasn't my number
so
one reason. Not at
no,
all.
I mean, yeah, I mean
It
that's
played
a
a
part
part.
of
It
it.
played a part, but
Yeah,
that was definitely
yeah,
not my number one reason.
But part of her health issues came from the organization.
yeah.
And she's going to tell you about that too, because
Yeah.
that was just so unfair. Giving her responsibility during the
Mhm.
collapse, before the collapse.
Yeah. That wasn't the best.
Yeah, and instead of siding with you, they didn't side with you during the photo issue, right?
That's
So
correct.
Correct.
yeah, so
Correct. And yeah.
yeah, and I think everything just, so many things happened, guys. Like I just want to explain to everyone because everyone was like, what's the real reason? What's the real reason? If you guys are listening, London was laying the ground on the story. Like, it started with with her national director, and then instead of Cosmo doing the right thing, which is to protect the contestants, they didn't do anything to her. Like, they promised so many things to her. They promised an arrival treatment for her arrival in Hanoi. They promised for a different photo shoot. They even butchered her name on the national costume competition, and they just apologized and they said that they're gonna do something about it. But how are you gonna edit a live broadcast? So, and yeah, I mean, so many things. So, and we're getting there, guys. I'm really sorry, it's already 10 in the evening. So that's why they want to rush up. So I think we can talk more about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so and yeah, you said a lot of things about, Cosmo and not really following through on their promises. I think that's been the most disheartening thing is that, it was promised it would get taken down and promised it would be, resolved, and I didn't receive any of those resolutions or anything like that.
That's right.
Um, but yeah, with my health, as many of you know, I had pneumonia, had a lung infection when I first got to Ho Chi Minh City, right after my amazing photo shoot. And I love everyone at that photo shoot. That was amazing. Thank you so much to everyone there. But they could tell I was starting to get sick and really low on energy. They're like, "Your energy's amazing. You're keeping it up, but you've had no sleep and you're starting to get sick. How is this possible?" And I was like, I'm trying really hard." But again, my health started back when I was home because I stayed up for those 3 days, no sleep at all, because I was trying to get all those videos done to meet the requirements for Cosmo. And again, not receiving the paperwork was no fault of Cosmo. That was completely on my national director. But when it came to getting to Hanoi, so I was in Ho Chi Minh, I flew to Hanoi, and again, my doctor recommended I not fly that soon. We'd already delayed flying to Hanoi for as long as possible, but the pageant was pretty much like, you need to come now, or pretty much never. Like you need to come, which I completely understand. But the flight took a lot out of me. Whew, it was really bad. I got really severe head pain. It almost felt like my veins here were about to burst. And I won't go too much into that, but that knocked me down really, really far. And when I went to the airport, I was told that the pageant was going to pick me up and not to worry. They had a van for all my luggage and everything like that. Um, they never picked me up from the airport like planned. So I was alone. Well, I wasn't alone. I had my security person with me who flew with me from my home, but I was alone from the pageant. I didn't have anyone there. Like I was guaranteed that I was supposed to be picked up and taken to Ninh Bình or taken to Hanoi. I'm not sure if we're going to stop in Hanoi or go straight to Ninh Bình. Um, I was texting and calling, and they're like, "Oh, we'll be there. We'll be there in 20 minutes. We'll be there, whatever, whatever." I ended up waiting an hour and a half, and I was like, "Okay." I felt like I was about to pass out. Like I was just not in a good place health wise either. So I waited really, really long time. Um,
Had to hire two cars.
yeah, my security person, thank God he was there because he had to hire two cars and everything like that, and we just drove straight to Ninh Bình, which was like 2 hours, I think, maybe two and a half.
Right, and that cost a lot of money. And
That
then
cost
they
a lot
didn't
of money.
update you. You asked Loy for an updated schedule, and no one told you that they changed hotels, so that
Right.
cost another $200.
Right.
So,
So we ended up going to the wrong hotel because I actually wasn't the wrong hotel. It was the hotel in the paperwork that I had. I asked for an updated schedule. They said to look at social media. And I was like, okay, well, that doesn't say the hotel. So I just assumed that all the hotels and everything were the same. So we ended up going to the wrong hotel. We went to the Ninh Bình Legend, which is a beautiful hotel, by the way. They were wonderful there. They were able to, work me in. They were able to get two rooms because, I had two rooms for me and my security person, but it was just it was a lot of money, a lot of money and a lot of different things, and it was just my health was
and another
highly declining from the plane ride.
and another
Um,
transaction with 12 suitcases
mhm,
and trying to get
right,
you can only settle in for 5 minutes. You can't
right,
unpack, you can't rest, you have to find your own food, all of that,
right.
being so sick.
And this is when I first this is when I first had my first interaction with one of our general managers within Cosmo, because Mr. Loy, he's not general manager. I'm not even sure what his title is, but he's pretty high up there in Cosmo. And uh, so I had one of our first contacts with our national directors, not national directors. I'm sorry, not general managers. Excuse me, have a fever. Give me a break. I'm sorry. One of our general managers and first it was like, "Oh, we'll come pick you up, no problem." And then it was, "Wait, we'll send a taxi." And I was like, "Wait, my stuff won't fit in a taxi, all my luggage." And then it was, "Wait, just spend the night there. We'll come pick you up in the morning." So that kind of changed too a little bit throughout there, which I understand. Things change. Everyone's very busy. You've got a lot of contestants. But I think the most disheartening thing was I wasn't picked up from the airport, and it was just I had a long wait, and it was just really hard, and financially hard too because there's so many expenses that I did not plan on um, having to work on. So that was really hard. Um, yeah, so that's how I first got to the pageant. And let's see, let's keep going.
I would start in with the responsibilities of the medical care of other contestants and their lack of responsibility and lack of medical knowledge. It's not about the staff, It's about being unprepared
Absolutely.
for terrible situations
Right.
that occurred.
And I see some comments saying, "Did you get reimbursement? Did you get reimbursement?" No, I never got any reimbursement for anything. Not for my Vietnamese phone, not for travel, not my gifts. A lot of my gifts were stolen, and there's a lot of gifts from Cosmo that I never received, like our luggage, and things like that. Like I never received a lot of the stuff. Sorry, let me go back down. Okay, I can't read all the comments because they're coming in kind of fast. I'm sorry, guys. Um, yeah, so again, I was started going to the hospital, traditional Vietnamese medicine hospital, because acupuncture was really helping me in a lot of things.
Their medical care was excellent.
Yeah, a lot. I don't medical care, excellent. Um,
Top of the line.
yeah, yeah, top of the line. Love them. In Ninh Binh and in Ho Chi Minh City. Ninh Binh, I think the place in Ninh Binh had a really special place in my heart because they were just very. They took care of me like I was family, and they took exactly what I needed. The tongue, pulse, everything, amazing, top notch. But so some of the other girls started to go to the hospital as well after they saw, oh, it's okay to tell them about my injuries, my health issues, and things like that. So I'm glad the girls kind of saw that I was saying, hey, I need to go to the hospital. I need to get this taken care of because I'm not doing okay. And I'm glad they kind of followed that lead and got medical care for them as well. But afterwards, I was kind of put in charge of um, not quite taken care of, but definitely looking after the contestants with medical issues throughout the pageant. I remember one of the girls, love her to death, was sat next to me at dinner, and or Cosmo came up to me and said, "Hey, can you help her with dinner? Can you help her get her buffet because she's injured? Can you just kind of help her out because she's injured?" And there's just a lot of different instances like that where it's like I was put in charge of helping other girls because they were injured or they're sick or something like that, which I have absolutely no problem with. That's kind of what I gravitate towards anyway, because, I'm kind of a caretaker a little bit. My sister used to be sick, and, I have medical training from the military and things like that. So that's,
And you're certified
yeah,
in
and
CPR and first aid.
yeah, I'm certified in CPR and first aid and things like that. So I naturally gravitate towards doing that anyway. But it was just difficult because having that responsibility specifically from Cosmo kind of put some extra pressure. Um, because it's, of course I do it out of the, goodness of my heart, and that's because I want to do, because they're my sisters. I love them. But just having people come up to me and say, hey, can you help her do this and do that? Meanwhile, I'm in a gown. I've already sprained yeah, this is after the fashion show. So I had a newly sprained ankle that I hadn't taken any medicine for. I hadn't gotten a chance to wrap. You know,
The
yeah, yeah.
fashion show experience.
Oh my gosh. And the fashion show experience, that's a whole nother thing that I have to talk about, but that was really hard. But yeah, just being put in, having the responsibility of other contestants' medical challenges on me it was a lot. Um, but
You don't want to name names,
no,
but
absolutely
someone
not.
collapsed at the fashion show.
I wouldn't even say collapse. I don't know even what to call it because it was very, very severe. And some of you guys may have known this already, but at the fashion show in Ninh Binh, we had pre-recordings done. The other girls had them done other days because there was like maybe 7 or 8 girls who didn't get them pre-recorded because of either medical issues or came in late or something like that. So my pre-recording was done earlier that day before the fashion show actually aired. Me and like 6 or 7, 8 other girls. I don't remember the exact number. In the rain. We recorded in the rain, and the reason for the recording was in case we couldn't have the fashion show because of rain. But so right before the recording was starting to happen, one of the girls, I don't know if I should call it an episode or what exactly I should call it, but she collapsed. It looked kind of like a seizure. And again, it was really hot. There's a lot of just a lot of different things going on throughout the atmosphere. But she had a corset on. I was like, oh my gosh. So I put her feet up, took her shoes off. People were starting to crowd her. Yeah, took her shoes off, put her feet up, bent her knees. I had these long sponsored nails on, which were beautiful. But it was really hard for me to get her corset off. But I tried to get her corset off because it was really tight on her, and just different.
Was this before or after CPR?
No, this is before. I took her corset off, tried to kind of get her on her side, but I didn't have much time because then I was yanked out to the fashion show recording. So she was having a really rough time before I left, but I managed to get her corset off, get her feet up, all that stuff. Let's see. Me and around seven other girls had time to have a photo shoot and walk the runway each individually. And by the time I came back into the tent, the girl was hardly breathing. Her heart had stopped for 15 seconds. She stopped breathing for 15 seconds. She had CPR done, and she was on her back, hardly breathing. She looked like a fish out of water. Like she couldn't breathe. It was really bad. And I saw her, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I ran over there. The designer, I was working on her, and the designer like took off my feathers because I don't know if you knew, but I was in a short dress. I had like a feather cape on. But everyone was just staring at her. Like they were all around her and they were just staring at her like they didn't know what to do. Which was really a shock. And again, it's not their fault. I love the Cosmo staff. Like most of the Cosmo staff has my heart. Like they're amazing. They fully love the girls. But medically, like no one knew what to do. They were all just staring at her, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So I went over there. I rolled her on her side because that's survival position. Whether you're puking or you can't breathe or whatever, or if you're having a seizure, you roll on their side and then you put your arm up, and you're able to breathe better. So I rolled her on her side, made sure her corset was off, and they had a heavy, heavy jacket on her because her skirt had ridden up. So I went and I grabbed my kind of sheer scarf, and I took the jacket off her, put the sheer scarf because it was really hot, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's overheating on top of all this. So, yeah, did that, and then there's acupressure points down your spine. It's called kind of tapping out. So I started to tap her out, but again, I had these really long sponsored nails on, and again, they're beautiful, but not really practical for medical medical instances or like getting stuff done. So, but I broke three. Yeah, that's right. I broke three nails trying to get her corset off, and then I broke another one trying to tap her out because I was like, oh my gosh. So I couldn't quite tap her out, so I taught one of the staff members. I was like, this is how we do it. We go from spine all the way to the tailbone, down, 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 down. So I taught them how to do that, and then I went around, and I was like, guys, let's just get off for a little bit. Let's just back up. Let's only have a few people in here, because it was, everyone was just really, really, here, I gotta accept crease back in here. Really, an intense go. So okay, everyone, let's just take a step back. Once she was on her side, she started to come around a little bit more, but it wasn't like a come around where she was lucid, like able to talk to me. It reminded me of back when my sister used to have seizures, and she would come back to it, but she still wasn't able to fully talk and like fully come around. It's not like she fainted and she came back. You know what I mean? It was very different. I felt like it was possibly like a neurological thing going on, but also her heart stopped for 15 seconds. So I don't know if it's more of a heart condition or a neurological issue. I'm not a doctor, but to me it looked more like a medical or a neurological issue causing the heart to stop. So I was really, really concerned. But she started to come around, and I was like, okay, so and so, can you hear me? Mm-hmm. Where's your pain? In my chest. I was like, just asking her a few questions, making sure she was around. And then I kind of declared that her airway was okay. She was breathing a lot better than when she was on her back. Because when she was on her back, it was like she just hardly getting air. And yeah, I was like, do you think you could drink some water if I gave it to you in a straw? No one could find a straw. found a spoon. At that point, no one could find a straw. Found a spoon, so I was spoon feeding her water a little bit, and that seemed to help her a lot. And someone did finally found a straw, and got her straw. She started drinking again, and it was hard because she was crying, and it wasn't even like a conscious crying. It was like her body just couldn't figure out what to do, and the crying was just a a reaction from her body. Like she was definitely having neurological issues, at least from my standpoint. Again, I'm not a doctor, but that was Columbia. No, I can't say it was not Columbia. Columbia was not the girl that this happened to. Again, I'm not going to say anything, not going to name names. And finally, this was such a long time because again, the medical issue started before I went out on the runway. I took her corset off, got her feet up, got her shoes off, everything. Time for 8 girls to have a photo shoot, 8 girls to walk the runway. And by the time I got back in the tent, her heart had still stopped, CPR, all that stuff, and did all the stuff that I just explained. And then finally, a stretcher came in and took her out to the hospital. And it was just a really, really, really long time. And I think the most disturbing thing was that no one knew what to do. And it was just, it scared me. It really scared me. And again, this is nothing against the staff. I adore the Cosmo staff with my entire heart. I love them. And I truly believe that almost all of them have the girls number one on their priority. That's something I want to make very, very clear. I love the Cosmo staff. But it was scary because as much as I love them, as much as they love us, they didn't know what to do. It was really, really scary. Um, and that happened to her one more time, and then we had other medical issues that happened. And again, it was funny because not funny, obviously, but it was interesting because every time something would happen, I was like right next to the stuff that would happen. So it was just scary because like she passed out again. And it was really sweet. One of our general managers like took off because I took off her shoes. He gave her his shoes, and I was like, wait, I have flip flops. So I dug my flip flops out of my bag and like gave them to him. I didn't get my flip flops back, but that's okay. I guess he needed them more than I did. But yeah, it was just it was it's difficult to talk about in a way because it takes me back there and it just gets my heart going, and I still don't feel that well. So excuse me if this story's a little splotchy around, but it was a very difficult situation, especially because no one knew what to do, no one at all,
So
and
And then the collapse.
yeah, and then the stage collapse. So
yes, yes.
that was terrifying. A group of us. So I was part of the group that was in the bathroom, so I didn't see the stage collapse. But a lot of the girls, some of the girls were in the ballroom, and again, this is from what I'm hearing. I wasn't there in the ballroom, or I don't even know what to say. It wasn't a ballroom. I was not in the stage room when it happened. A lot of the girls were. There was apparently a really, really bad domino effect where girls went in, set their stuff down, stage started collapsing, and when the girls tried to get out, there was girls passing out. They couldn't get through. There was like a stampede, domino effect. Girls were having to get carried out, yanked out, and this was all in the span of a very, very short time. So it was highly traumatic for them. And yeah, there's the hysteria was incredible. So when I came out of the bathroom with a group of the other girls, I thought someone committed suicide. I thought someone had like thrown themselves off the side of the building because the hysteria was incredible. And all I heard was, he fell, he fell, he fell. And I was like, oh my gosh, what, where? Where's the body? What happened? And then my second thought was like, okay, because they were like, no, he fell, he fell. And I didn't see anything, didn't see anyone. And I was like, okay, well, is there like an active shooter here or something? Is there someone with a knife? What's going on? There's some sort of big threat. And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta take care of it. And what's happening? Triage, yeah. So ended up being that when the stage collapsed, and I don't know how much I should speak on this, so I probably there's more story to this, but I'm not going to speak on it because it's not my story to tell. But at least one person got crushed, and Cosmo told us he was okay, but there's another person that is rumored to not have been okay that got crushed by the stage. And I don't know. That's not my story to tell. I didn't see it. Don't know what happened.
Tell me what you did.
But what I did, yeah, thank you. My mom's keeping me on track. She's like, tell them what you did. It's I feel my fever spiking, my adrenaline, like talking about this stuff, my adrenaline's going up. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so when I came out, I saw the girls were crying, hysterical, like this was like a almost it looked like a mass casualty situation the way people were reacting. And I don't blame the girls. It was a very, very traumatic experience. But they were the injuries were really bad. There was I don't know how many swollen, sprained ankles. One girl broke her toe, or looked like a broken toe. She was so tough. I was so proud of her. I was like, "You go, girl!" And she ended up doing really well at finals. So, girl, you know who you are. I'm so proud of you. I love you. But yeah, her toe was bad. Lots of really bad sprained ankles. Like girls were already swollen and purple, and um, just happened. I'm like, oh my god, these girls are in really bad shape. And even some girls had like injured their arms and their shoulders because they had fallen and hit themselves. They were falling over each other. Like yeah, passing out. Two girls had a total mental breakdown, according to one of the staff members, and I helped one of the girls with the mental breakdown. She was puking, crying, hysterical, and again, no fault. I'm not putting any fault on these girls for reacting this way. This is just what I saw, and it was heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking.
Normal reaction.
It is, yeah, highly normal reaction because everyone deals with trauma so differently. Even some of the girls were saying, "Oh, I saw girls joking and laughing afterwards," and I'm like, well. I, People handle trauma so in different ways. It's something that we each handle the same way, so I can't really fault anyone for the way they handled it afterwards. Um,
And
but
you can tell them that a lot of your training
yeah.
is, mass casualty.
Yeah.
And so, you understand that the reactions are going to be different from each individual.
Absolutely, yeah. Like my mom said, a lot of my training is curtailed to exactly what happened during this time. So, a lot of people handle shock with they can't see anything. They can only see through like a tiny little pinhole. Like some people could be looking for their family and their family could be right in front of them, but unless you get them right in that specific pinhole, they can't see them. Or they start laughing hysterically, making dark jokes, or just having a complete mental breakdown like some of the girls had, like puking, crying. People handle these things so many different ways. This is exactly what my training is on. I've been trained for a long time on this stuff, and that's why when I came out of the bathroom, I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like a mass casualty situation because girls are like completely just having a really rough time.
And
Really rough time.
What did you do from there?
Yeah, so what I did from there is, so one of the girls, and I don't know if this has been released, so I'm not going to say her name. She was cut right here above her eye, and it was only a cut about maybe this big. It could have been even smaller. But head injuries, they bleed a lot. They bleed a lot. So the girls were really freaking out. She had her hand covering her eye. So I couldn't see her injury, but I ran to her. The staff had already taken her in another room. They didn't even blink an eye when I went to go in there. They're just like, "Yes, let in, please," because I haven't taken care of a lot of people since then. So they just opened the door, let me in, and she handled it so well because she thought she lost her eye by the way people were reacting. I thought she lost her eye by the way people were reacting. She's covered, and then she slowly takes her hand off, and I'm like, oh my god, her eye's still there. I was ready to shove a towel, shove something in there to stop the bleeding. I was like, okay, we're ready for this. I was like, take your hand off, and luckily she was okay. It was just a small cut, but I none of the staff had a first aid kit. There's no first aid kit anywhere within Cosmo. Yeah, mine was back at the hotel room because I can't carry around a first aid kit all the time, a huge one all the time. I had everything I would have needed in there, but again, I didn't have it with me. It was back at the hotel. The stadium that the stage collapse happened at, there was a first aid kit, but I opened it up. The only thing in the first aid kit was like Tylenol and like a bug bite patch or like a back sprain patch or something like that. It was like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a gauze filled with chemicals. I'm like, well, I can't use
Oh,
that. And yeah, and I don't read Vietnamese, so I opened it up and they're like, don't use that. I'm like, I'm not. I'm just looking at it because I don't have it. I don't have anything. I don't have anything to use to help her.
Use toilet paper.
Yeah, but the bathroom. Mom was like, you could use toilet paper. I'm like, the bathroom was so far away.
Toilet paper, right?
No, I don't know. I don't remember what I used. I don't remember. It all happened really fast. Um, but she handled it like a champ. She was actually one of the most calm girls. I was like, you go, girl. I was like, as long as you're not in shock, just keep doing what you're doing. But then, so she finally went to the hospital. It took a while for the girls to go to the hospital who needed to go to the hospital. Um, and then I went into the main room where we all were, and this is before the CEO came in, but a lot of girls had so many injuries, like so many ankle injuries. I was going around propping up foots, like on suitcases, and we had little stools, so I was going around and, making sure all their feet were elevated and things like that. And so it was a lot, and girls were really hysterical, rightfully so. The hysteria didn't calm down for a long time, even when the CEO came in. Henry, he got to witness a lot of the trauma that was done to them, which I'm glad because it was just
What did he tell you to do or not to do?
yeah. He told us not to contact anyone, not to contact our national directors.
You weren't allowed to tell
We
him.
weren't allowed to tell anyone about what happened. I'm pretty sure he said our families were okay because someone asked her, like, can we contact our family? I'm pretty sure, yeah, he said our families were okay, but not to contact our national directors, not to tell anyone. Oh, and our sashes were immediately confiscated. Like before we'd even been like put into a room, they immediately took all our sashes. Um,
So that was the priority? I had not heard that part. The
yeah,
priority was to collect your sashes over
yeah,
the injuries?
one person was going around collecting all the
Oh my
sashes.
God.
Mine was one of the first ones. They thought I was going to the hospital with the girls, so mine was one of the first one to get confiscated. And at first, I just thought it was only the girls going to the hospitals, but no, it was all the girls. And yeah, it was before we even got like ushered into the room and stuff. I'm pretty sure because I wasn't in the room yet. I'm pretty sure other girls were still around, but it was like one of their first things was to collect all the sashes, um, which I thought was really odd. And I was like, oh. Hmm. But anyway, um, yeah. So I'm glad the CEO kind of got to see what the girls kind of went through. And he went around, shook our hands, things like that. Girls were hobbling. I had a sprained ankle at the time. I didn't sprain my ankle during this, but I still had a sprained ankle at the time. And I walked past. I was like, I will not hobble past this man. I walk normal. I was like, I'm not gonna hobble. I'm not gonna limp. But yeah, well, one of the girls ended up, again, I'm not going to say who or anything like that, but one of the girls stood up and asked, and I felt so bad because she was one of my close friends. She said, can we tell our national directors? Because I really don't want them to panic. And eventually he said, you can tell them you're okay, don't tell them anything else. At least that's what I remember him saying. And this, again, this is in shortened words, but that was basically what he said. Um, so yeah, that was just, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
I
So
know.
triaging everyone, it was, and seeing, and two of the girls directly saw something really, really bad happen to two of the stage crew, and hearing what they were saying, it was just a lot. And also, again, I don't know this for sure, but they were hushed. Again, like not to tell anyone about what happened. The Cosmo staff had gone over to them in the parking lot after we got off the bus at the hotel. And I thought it was odd. I was like, oh, I want to listen to this. So I like went over there and they're like, what you doing here, Lennon? What you doing here, Virgin Islands? I'm like, oh, nothing. Just going to talk with them because I wanted to hear what's going on. I didn't end up hearing anything, but I just thought it was really odd.
And at this point, you still had a little bit of confidence that they would make things right because they
Definitely.
said they were going to send a psychologist. Did they send a psychologist?
They sent a psychologist around to different rooms. I never, like, a psychologist never knocked on our door, never came to our door. Some of the staff came. Two of my favorite girls from the staff came um, to check on us. Mostly one of my roommates because she had seen a lot. She was one of the girls who had tripped over girls, saw girls get yanked out. Like there were girls having to get pulled out. Like our stage managers and our security. Our security was amazing. I don't know if you guys have probably seen them in the background. They're the guys in the black suits, looking all sharp all the time. I love them to death. They were great. Oh, the organization didn't buy me a phone. No, no. I bought my phone. So I have my Vietnamese phone and my
America.
American phone. My security person went and bought it, and actually Mr. Loy was helping translate, which is super nice. So that was great. He helped with that, but no, I paid for my phone. Um, but yeah, they were supposed to send a psychologist around to each room. They didn't end up doing that. Only certain rooms got the psychologist. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of what happened. But
The
Hello,
question
hello,
is,
hello, hello.
the question
can you hear
is,
me?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, I'm just checking because the
Oh,
comments stopped moving on my
oh, gotcha.
end. I thought,
Sorry, sorry.
yeah, so I thought it was freezing, but yeah,
I
yeah,
know
but
there's so many comments coming in. I'm trying to read them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just can't.
One of the things you probably need to address is somebody saying, but you did a post thanking them, but that was prior to. Tell them when that was.
Oh yeah, so the post, are you talking like my story with the fruit? That was prior to all this. That was
The pageant was in
the
Hanoi and you were still in Ho Chi Minh.
right. I was still in Ho Chi Minh City uh when I made those posts about thanking them and everything for their good care because they did like when I was in Ho Chi Minh they did take good care. They sent three people at one time to come check on me. It was Mr. Hoy and then two other ladies. I don't know their names. They're very nice though. They kind of listened to what I was talking about my health and all that stuff. And then was it the next day or was it a couple days later? Dr. Bickna came to see me. That was a little bit hard because I didn't know that I was going to be interviewed. So, she messaged me and was like, "Hey, I want to come check on you." And I've been on a live with her before, and I was like, "Oh, yay, I'm so glad I get to meet her," which was super exciting. I love her, loved her. But yeah, so my security person went down to get them because with the elevator key card, you can't just directly come up. So he went down, got them up, and when he opened the door, he had kind of a strange look on his face, and I was like, "Huh, I wonder what that's for." And then he like moved out of the way of the door frame, and I saw a video camera right there, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, oh wow, I didn't know I was getting interviewed." Because I had like no makeup on, I was in my jammies, and I was really low energy, and then it took a lot out of me because it got my adrenaline up, and I had to really output because I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm on video." I didn't know. I was like, I would have put some makeup on, which is fine. I don't care. You guys see me barefaced. I'm pretty barefaced today. But it was just hard because it got my adrenaline up and everything. Um, so I was still deep in recovery. Um, yeah, yeah. So that was a little rough. Um,
do you
but
want to
yeah,
talk about
my posts of thanks were while I was still in Ho Chi Minh.
yeah, hello.
I can hear you. Sorry, you
Yeah,
said something, so I wanted to make sure I didn't cut you off.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm really sorry because the internet was not good,
No,
but
you're fine.
yeah, yeah. What about the finals like yesterday? Your
Well,
thoughts?
the finals yesterday, my thoughts are just I'm glad all the girls are okay. I saw some girls fall and slip on prelims or sorry, jury session. Um, so I'm glad they're okay. At least I hope they're okay. I saw a lot of girls kind of their walks weren't quite the same. I was like, "Oh no, I hope they're not injured. I hope they didn't get worse. I hope their health didn't decline." And just everything like that. I was glad to see them compete. I was cheering them on. I texted all my close girls, and I've been staying off social media just because I wanted to go live and answer questions first and talk about my story first before answering people or talking about it, just so everyone could get you know get it all at one time. So. But I've been reading, so thank you guys so much for the support. And I understand that you guys want answers and you want to understand what happened.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm here for.
Are you going to tell them about your trauma? I thought like there's two other things. Is this the way you reason?
Oh yeah, so um,
You don't have
so
to. You
no,
don't.
I will, I will. It's just it's not exactly something I like to talk about because I don't like to talk about the way I respond to the trauma that kind of happened. But my poor roommate, I love her to death, and she's such a good sport. She put up with me, but
You have to share beds.
apparently, what?
You have to share a bed.
Yeah, we had to share a bed um in our apartment, so we shared a bed in our apartment. Apparently, I was rolling over and waking her up in the middle of the night. Sorry, my donkeys are yelling. Apparently, I was rolling over and waking her up, shaking her in the middle of the night, saying, we gotta go, or run, or something. I was waking her up in an emergency um, to run and to go. And I did that two or three times. And
hmm
this
You don't
poor girl,
remember.
because I don't remember. I remember the second time, but I remember the second time because of her reaction. She goes, I'm shaking her, and she goes, "This is the second time, London." And I'm like, I'm sorry. I immediately just started, I'm sorry. But like my heart was in a panic, like my head was in a panic. I didn't know where I was. Even like after I left the pageant, I was told that I kept like jerking awake, and even on the airplane, I kept like jerking awake, um, like in a panic. Um, so, uh, but
What what are your thoughts on the
yeah,
winner?
my mom's like, "You're laughing, but it's not funny," and she's right. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. This is just something that
Yeah,
I don't, and I don't take it lightly. But it's not. So I don't see myself as a victim mentality. That's something I've never had. I've always had a very unbreakable spirit, and that's part of my platform. Is having an unbreakable spirit and helping to pass that on to others. But it's just a lot, and kind of laughing and downplaying it is the way I deal with it because
yeah.
it's you know
Difficult.
it's just difficult.
Yeah, yes. So, what are your thoughts on the results?
On the results, I mean, I don't know if um, I feel like I just wish that a lot of girls could have performed to their full capacity because I know a lot of the girls just they were just exhausted, and they were injured. So I just wish that a lot of the girls could have been able to take their moment better, um, because I know they were exhausted. I know this, and I know that they had no sleep because I I remember specifically setting my alarm each night, and it'd be like 49 minutes till your alarm goes off. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I got like an hour of sleep each night, maybe 2 hours. Um, so just a lot. But I just, my thoughts on the results and on finals and prelims or jury session is just I wish that the girls had been able to take their moment, and been refreshed during that because it's a lot.
What about favoritism and the
uh,
times?
yeah, yeah. My mom just helped me to remember that did want to talk about this. I was going back and forth about it, because I don't generally like to talk about anything like this, but it was just really hard to see a lot of the favoritism that went on, um, because the girls, I was on the list of girls.
Your dress. Talk about your
My
dress.
dress.
They did not allow you to wear your dress.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm talking
So my
about
dress.
with favoritism. That's a fact.
Yeah.
You have
So
receipts.
yeah, I was not allowed. So I got my glamour shots redone. When I was in see, we were in Ho Chi Minh. Yeah, when we were in Ho Chi Minh, I was able to get my glamour shots redone, but I was not allowed to wear my custom gown that I had made for this glamour shot. They said wear either a blue, silver, black, or white gown, for filming and for your photo shoot. I had one custom made. It was very expensive. And I was not allowed to wear it because it was deemed too sexy, but there were other girls that I had seen that already had their photo shoot in gowns that were more sexy than this gown. So I was
Put in
told,
a junior teen
yeah, I
dress.
was put in like a junior teen dress, very, very covered and everything, it was a beautiful dress, but it was too big. It didn't fit me. So it was clipped in the back, and it didn't flatter me at all because it didn't fit. Again, it was a beautiful gown, but on me because it didn't fit, it just looked like a junior teen gown. It was definitely not up to par. And actually, I think some of you may have seen it in this. I also haven't received any of my photos from the photo shoots, from like our high fashion editorial, from our swim, from any of the photos. I got a couple stage photos from the Odai fashion show, but that's it.
Hmm.
Um, Other than that, I haven't received anything. So yeah, um, yeah. So I've only received a screenshot. I only received a screenshot after I left the pageant because my national director was trying to get me to open messages. So I that's the only photo I've got. I've gotten a screenshot, and you'll see on my if I don't remember if I added it to my highlights, but uh it was just a screenshot of a glamour shot. I don't think it was even edited. I'm pretty sure it was a raw photo, which is fine. I don't mind my raw photos, but you know.
But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of comments about around here saying that uh their thoughts on the press conference yesterday, like
Mhm.
when she had the press conference and she was talking about the people who were sleeping and who were sick with their leg injuries.
Mhm.
What thoughts on that?
Yeah, I have a hard time when, um, and this was again, I didn't spend much time around, the winner, Tata, But from what I did send around her, I really liked her. She was great. But I just have a hard time when um, people uplift others to uplift themselves and put down others. I don't feel that we should put down others to uplift ourselves. And I
Yeah.
felt like that might have been a little bit what was happening. Again, I'm not going to speak on it too much because I don't like to go into, drama or things about the girls or anything like that unless it's facts. But I really feel for the girls who were kind of attacked in that scenario, in that press conference or things like that, because it's just
That's not what Queen is.
yeah, to me that's not really what a queen does, especially because some girls got treatment of able to sleep in, able to get their hair and makeup done every day, able to come with no makeup or able to not have great manners and things like that. Yeah, show up late, have a bus waiting, or like be on live at breakfast. Meanwhile, the girls are waiting on the bus. Just different things like that, where it's really hard to see that. It's hard to listen to, oh, other girls are making excuses when
They themselves.
they themselves had a lot of those same issues going on.
Yeah, and
It's just,
felt like it felt like she was also justifying her win, like she was already defending the decision.
I again, that's I whoever Cosmo wanted to choose, that is completely up to them. It's their queen. But it's just I don't feel that a queen should put down others to elevate herself. That goes for every single queen, every single Cosmo queen, every single person. That's never been me, and I don't condone that. It's really hard
Do
to
you
to see that.
do you think it was fair what they were saying about Atisa?
Oh, I don't think it was fair what they were saying about Atiza at all. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. She had a doctor's note. She had everything. She was in a wheelchair. And again, it was funny because I got sent like the edit of it was like a fan edit of Atiza in a wheelchair, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so mean. Why would they put her in a wheelchair? That's horrible. And then I figured out she was actually in a wheelchair. I was like, oh my goodness, they weren't being mean. That she's actually in a wheelchair. And my heart just went out for her because she had the doctor's note, she had everything. And this was very real. Like everyone's pain was very real and very valid. And I was proud of her for listening to the doctor's advice because a lot of girls wouldn't probably, and then they'd end up paying for it later. So I was very proud of her for listening to doctor's advice. And other girls were also in a wheelchair. I'm not gonna name names, but one girl, I don't remember exactly when she injured her foot. I think it was around the same time that I did. It might have been during the fashion show as well. I'm not sure. But she was in a wheelchair throughout the airport. She had to ask the airport personnel for a wheelchair because she was hobbling, man. It was so sad. So sad. Um, and, you know, and that again kind of goes back to favoritism of certain people. And again, not the girl that was in the wheelchair, but I'm just thinking back to the airport. There was a lot of girls who were able to do certain things, able to go certain places that I was certainly not allowed to. I was not allowed to get food or water at the airport. I had to sit there. Actually, no, I had to stand there in my specific spot, not moving, not getting food or water before we got on the plane, while other contestants were able to go to Starbucks and able to go this and that and hang out there and many different things. But I had to stand there, and eventually a seat opened up where I had to sit there. Meanwhile, I was the person at the gate. So it was just a little bit disheartening where you get yelled at for something that others are doing as well, and you're on time, you're this, you're that, and it's just it's a little bit hard because it wears you down over a month, when all these things pile up. It just, you
Yeah.
know.
Are you gonna post your gowns?
Oh, I want to. That was the whole thing was just really heartbreaking because so many people had poured so much into me, and not saying like so much sponsors and things like that because I did do this very much alone when it comes financially. It was all me and my family. But it was just a lot of people really, really were looking forward to me and my gowns and
Yeah.
this and that. So I'd really like to post my gowns, but I don't know. Should I? Guys, should I post my gowns?
You should
Should
please and do a proper
I?
photo with it. Like give us the fantasy, like the videos and because the ones that are already there with you in your makeup, they're already stunning, and we want to see you wearing the gown. Allow us to have the vision of you, being gorgeous and stuff like that. Because I have seen the gowns, right? You have shown me before, but I think that they're too beautiful to be hidden. That the world deserves to see those gowns, like
Aw.
prelims gown and all gown. They all deserve to see the light of day.
I agree. I think I will post them. But again, I've been kind of staying off social media, and that's why I haven't been able to. Oh, sorry guys, I'm still injured. Oh, um, uh, no, I was not able to, be on social media a whole lot, like after I left and everything. 'Cause, I got a lot of support, but I also got a lot of pretty negative comments because people don't understand, and I understand that. That's no problem. But I wanted to come on the live and talk first before I answered some people, but not others. You know what I mean? So I wanted to have everyone just have the same information all at once. Um, so.
There's some people claiming that you should have worked it out with the organization
Oh, I
instead of leaving.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried. I tried multiple times to work it out with the organization. The promises were not kept at all. Um, so it's kind of hard to work something out with an organization that doesn't want to work something out with you.
That's right.
Um, and I've sacrificed a lot to be here. I was still making sacrifices while I was at the pageant. Um, it's just my integrity was more than staying at the pageant.
More important.
More important to me than staying at the pageant. My
So
integrity above all.
so what are your plans? Like, are you gonna do something after the pageant regarding your experience?
Like compete again?
Well, a lot of people are asking if you want to compete again.
I mean, I don't know. I would love to. If someone has an opportunity for me, then that'd be great. Um, what? Hmm?
Speak up.
Who's? I'm not sure who's Jack. Who?
I think somebody said, but the thing is, Ukraine called you off, though.
Oh, are they okay? I heard a little bit about this from my roommates because they were like, this is really weird." They said Ukraine said that I stole her Green Summit. No, Ukraine never said that. Ukraine actually accused someone else who actually won the pageant of stealing her Green Summit. Never had anything to do with me. Um, I didn't even attend the Green Summit because that was the day that I had my pinched nerve and I actually went to the hospital that day. I never attended the Green Summit, and my video was put in long before I ever met any of the girls or heard any of the other Green Summits. Um,
Oh,
and again, I'm not sure what the answer will be if you ask anyone, but I was not the one accused of stealing anything. It was the winner of the pageant who was accused, not me.
and if we're talking about stolen things, you have the most number of possessions that were stolen.
Yeah, I had a lot of things, and I'm not even saying like stolen or anything like that, but there was a lot of my possessions just gone. Well, actually, there were some things that were for sure stolen. One of our wonderful sponsors, she gave us a great like dental package. It was like with luxury toothpaste and things like that, and I had it was like a tooth set and things like that. I got a picture with my sponsor. It was wonderful. But it was stolen out of my gift bag. Like they just took the whole thing out of my gift bag. Like my phone and my charger and things were there, but the prizes, not the prizes, the sponsorship was stolen out of my gift bag. So that was a bummer. We also got sponsored a beautiful tea set from the Doi Dep resort, and it was like tea and a tea set and beautiful scissors. That was never given back to me from under the bus. So someone took that. I had two of my hand fans stolen, and then it was hard because I had a small makeup bag that I travel with, and I had like my earbud charger and like all pencil sharpener, all like half my makeup in there. I was at dinner one night and they offered me different transportation back to the hotel because I was leaving a little bit early. They told me to leave, they told all the contestants to leave all our stuff on the bus. And so we did, the standard, but I took a different transportation home. They picked up my makeup bag, I asked for it for days and days and days, and they didn't have it. The organization didn't have it, which was rough because I had like a lot of my makeup stuff in there. Had like my expensive earbuds, and different things like that in there. Like yeah, one of my phone chargers, things like that in there. So meh, it's fine. And again, these are just things. It's just material things, but it's just a little bit disheartening, you know. Oh, Grace, where'd you go? Right, well, at least I get to see some of the comments now until Crease comes back. Hang on. Where is he? There he is. Crease? Hello. Let me see if he'll come back.
I clicked
Ah,
something.
there he is. No, you're fine. Don't
I
worry. You're back.
clicked something and then it was all gone. Yeah.
You're back.
Yes.
Oh,
So
there's so many comments that I can't read. Ah.
we are with you, Queen. They are saying they are with you, Queen, and they want you to do something about your stolen stuff.
I Again, those are just things. It's not,
Added hardship.
it's just, yeah, like my mom said, it's just something added on there. It's just, you know, it is what it is. Uh,
That's what he
They were
said.
I know.
ask,
I just waved at him. He just came on. Hi,
they were asking
love you.
about your thoughts on Atiza not reaching the top five. I think these are for the Filipinos. So what are your thoughts on that?
I don't. I mean, again, I'm not one of the judges. I'm not, one of the Cosmo people. But I just feel like, I wish, like I said earlier, I wish everyone could have perform to their top ability because everyone was exhausted and everyone had injuries. And I know Tiza had major leg injuries, or maybe not injuries, but leg pain. And I know some of the girls in the top five as well had things, but. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I just wish that everyone had more opportunity to really shine, and I wish everyone was just a little bit more fresh. Um, refreshed. I wish, because I've seen their videos. I saw them, work in front of the camera, and everyone could have really slayed a lot harder if if they'd had some rest and had some proper care, you know. So, uh-oh, I think we're frozen. Oh, thank you guys in the comments. I love you. And while Crease is paused, I just want to take a second to say I love all of Vietnam, the Vietnamese people, everyone, all the fans. Everyone has been so amazing to me, and this has nothing to do with anything along those lines. So I'm very grateful for everyone who has supported me and loved on me, and even to the people who are asking me the tough questions. I understand you guys want answers, and that's why I'm here. So you know I'm not sure. Let's see, food poisoning issue. I never had food poisoning. A lot of the girls had some problems with their stomach, but I think that was just being from a different part of the world. um, a lot of girls probably did get food poisoning. um, Well, that's okay. If Vietnam doesn't love me anymore, I still love them. That's okay. Um, let's see. Again, I'm not saying that anyone did steal anything. I'm just saying I was not the one accused of stealing Miss Ukraine's Green Summit. That it was just a bad rumor. Yeah, like my mom said, it's just a bad rumor. It wasn't me. I didn't even attend the Green Summit, and my video about my Green Summit was submitted way before we were at the pageant. So let's see if I can go up. There's a lot of comments. Um, is it true there's romance during the competition? I'm not sure. Um, I'll let y'all look at the videos and make your own opinions on that. Let's see. Do you know how? Okay. There's a lot in different language that I don't know, so I'm sorry, guys.
Have you consulted your lawyer? Yes.
Yeah, have I consulted my lawyer? Yes, I have. Again, I'm not going to say any details on that. Um, but yes, have consulted my lawyer. What about food poisoning? Again, I didn't have any food poisoning. I know a lot of the girls had some issues from just being different parts of the world. Um, so
So your tailbone now.
yeah, for me, it's my tailbone and my ankles. Both ankles are sprained. My my tailbone's injured. I'm actually sitting on a pillow right now.
Your eyes.
What?
Somebody said, what's with your eyes?
Oh, someone asked what's wrong with my eyes. Yeah, I'm glad y'all noticed. Um, I took a really embarrassing selfie the other day showing how bad my eyes were because I'm not sure what's wrong. And actually, right now, I have a fever. Um, I woke up after coming home and my eyes were going in separate directions and they're really swollen. So I'm glad y'all noticed that I'm not completely normal right now. So thank you. Um, hang on, let me see something. Hi, Chris, you're back. I kept trying to accept you and it wasn't going. I was like, it'll pop up eventually. Um,
Yeah, my internet was not that good, but yeah, it's okay now.
that's okay. That's okay. Um, Someone asked how I feel about all the girls. I loved all the girls. I had an amazing time. And of course, there's like some personalities that don't always get along and kind of butt heads, but the majority of the girls that I interacted with, amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I got close with quite a few of them. So it was really fun, really, really fun. It was nothing like my last pageant. There was some really, really tough things going on, and I didn't feel that at all from these girls. It very much felt like a sisterhood.
Somebody gave you the middle
Um,
finger.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
someone is giving
Wave
me
at their middle finger.
hi.
they're giving you a lot of fingers. Give them your fingers too.
I'll give them all the fingers. Yeah, spirit fingers. Um,
Spirit fingers.
yeah, I don't know why Miss Columbia didn't uh continue to the final. I haven't talked to her. I haven't talked to a lot of the contestants. I've talked to like my roommates and things like that. But again, I've been staying off of social media. I can't wait to talk to them though. After this, I'm gonna go and answer everyone and talk to everyone. But I wanted to lay this all out. So, um, you guys are so funny.
Yeah, so we're just happy to hear that you're okay, you know. We're just really happy to see that you're safe, you're alive, basically.
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, you're healthier. And I mean, yeah, we're just so proud of you for standing up because this is not an easy thing to do because, you know, a lot of people are now seeing you as someone who, who doesn't want, I mean, who is an undesirable already by some people. But thank you so much for standing up. And I hope that a lot of queens will do the same because, this is what impactful beauty is about. Like, creating a positive impact like on whatever situation. And yeah, is we're just so sad that things didn't happen the way we planned for it, that didn't happen the way we envisioned it to be. But for me personally, as your trainer and everything, I'm really, really, really happy of what you've done. Like, you
Well,
are
thank you.
you're really a dynamite. You're really a dynamite.
Well, thank you. And it would have been so much harder to do it alone, like without you and without my family, and without my friends. So it's all about, the support I have. So thank you very much. And I'd probably do it if I was alone too, but having, you and my family and everyone just it's amazing. It's amazing to have that support. And I do know, I see a lot of comments saying, what about the other girls? Are they going to speak up? I do know a lot of other girls are very, very upset as well. And I'm not sure if they'll speak up. I'm not sure if they'll speak out.
Speak for them.
But I can't, yeah, I can't speak for them.
Yes,
I can only speak for myself. But I do know for a fact that many are very upset and they're very hurt, along with being traumatized. Many, many, many are traumatized. Even the girls who weren't in the room when the stage collapsed, they were horrified, absolutely horrified.
that's
So
right.
again, I can't speak for them, but I do know many of them are very upset about the broken promises because I was not the only one who had broken promises.
Oh,
Uh, so it's just, it's very disheartening.
yeah. So anything else? I,
Not, gosh, I tried to write down my timeline last night, but I was not feeling well at all. My eyes were like magnets shutting, and
yeah,
my doctor said go to sleep. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep.
yeah. I
Um,
are still the same. Like they're still droopy.
yeah, yeah. Here, let me see some of the. Sorry. Here we go. Yeah, I think I've pretty much answered everything.
Yeah.
Someone said, "What can you say about the debate that happened during top two?" Seems like they're very prepared. All I know is that I don't, again, I wasn't there. I just know that Thailand, she is so smart, so ready for anything. She's a doll. I love Mook to death. And I think Tata did an amazing job as well. So I think they just did a really good job. Again, I don't know if they were briefed on the question or what. I do know that in the chat, because I'm still in the chat, that they were sent that everyone was sent a form saying, "Oh, if you were to make it to top two, what topic would you want to speak on?" Again, I don't know anything beyond that, so that's all I know.
I want to talk about how it's not fair for Atisa to be accused
Oh,
of faking.
yeah, that's a good point, my mom, because I was talking to her about it. She's like, I think it's probably a good idea for you to talk about how Atiza was being accused of faking it and all that stuff. I don't think that's fair to her at all. I don't think it's fair to anyone to be accused of that, especially Atiza, because she's a very reputable pageant queen. She's a very reputable girl. She has so many fans, and she's put everything into this, you know. Into her whole pageant career, I really don't feel like it's fair for her to be accused of anything, of faking it or faking her legs or anything like that. Especially when a lot of these people might not know just how strenuous, a pageant can be. Again, we had like an hour of sleep each night, 2 hours, 3 hours if we're lucky.
Some things are out of control.
And yeah, some things are out of our control. There's not much we can do. And she had a doctor's note. Even if she didn't choose to post her doctor's note, um, it's not really any of our business to be accusing girls of faking it when it comes to medical issues. It's really none of our business when it comes to anyone's medical issues. So I just feel like it's just, you know, not mommy spitting facts in the background. Yes, she is, absolutely. Well, she's here to keep me on track because I have a fever. I really don't feel well. So I was like, this is, and my sister's here too. I said, this is y'all's investment too. I was like, y'all talk if you want to talk. So, but yeah, I don't feel like that was fair to her at all. Yeah, yeah, especially yeah, she couldn't defend herself either.
What about,
So,
yeah,
you know,
what about the people that think you should be decrowned Miss USVI because you left?
I
Is
mean,
that fair?
I I don't know, and no NDA was signed. I never signed an NDA. Um, I don't know. It wasn't anywhere in my contract. It was in my contract that I was well, it was in my contract. I'm not allowed to discuss my contract, so I'm not going to say too much. But I don't think it was anywhere in my contract that I had to continue or anything like that. So I don't know. You guys are allowed to your opinions. All I know is what I know and what I can say because my integrity comes above a crown. My integrity comes above a pageant. Um, so that's the way it is. For me at least.
They were they were asking if you and Brian are in good terms right now.
I haven't talked to Brian in a long time. My mom has been giving him updates on my health, because I was really sick and I could hardly look at my phone. I was hardly talking to anyone. I was literally like when I was in Ho Chi Minh, I was literally talking to my family, and that was it. Because again, I didn't have my Vietnamese phone yet, so I could barely get messages out to anyone. And that's why the pageant was looking for me. Uh, yeah, yeah, I had to get um different phone and different phone number for the pageant. So it was a lot. And I didn't have a phone, so I had to communicate through someone else's phone, the other person's phone. He was running around doing all this stuff, trying to get me another phone, trying to take care of me, trying to get me my health, trying to take me to the doctor, all this stuff. So it was a lot. But yeah, I haven't really talked to Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
that's about it. I mean, when it comes to that front, I certainly hope I'm not dethroned because, um, this still means a lot to me. All the girls mean a lot to me. My impact has meant a lot to me. And I still love all the fans. I still love all of Vietnam. I love love everyone very much. This hasn't put a damper on any impact anyone has made on me from Vietnam or the fans or anyone. This can't touch that. That's in here. So you guys are all in here.
yeah. So
Not sure.
and
Not sure if there's any more questions or anything. I'm sure there are.
yeah.
Um, let's see what happened during the stage claps. Answered that. Atiza must speak up. Again, I can't speak for any of the other girls. I just think it was really wrong for Atiza to be accused of those things. Um,
You too.
yeah, and me. I've been called weak. I've been called um, a lot of
Irresponsible.
a lot of really bad things.
Yeah.
It's just really bad things, and it just
Unprofessional.
yeah, I've been called
Lloyd
unprofessional.
calls you
Yeah,
unprofessional
Mr. Lloyd called me unprofessional
because you.
because I was trying to get my photo removed after he promised my photo would be removed.
Yeah,
Um,
and he told you that you were also irresponsible and ungrateful and weak and stuff like that. The fans.
yeah, those are from the fans, which I mean, you're allowed to believe whatever you'd like to believe, but I'm very grateful, very grateful for every experience I've had and every single fan, every single person who's given me any bit of support from before and from after. I'm very grateful. And
Oh,
I
some
think I think I think people know that. I think people are just really upset by the whole situation, which is completely understandable. It's hard to. It's okay if you guys would like to call me ungrateful and things like that, but when it comes to my integrity and when it comes to standing up for others, that's not something like being called ungrateful and things like that are not going to scare me when it comes to standing up for others and standing up for myself. Because
oh,
it's just not that's not even a factor in my mind. My integrity comes above all that. So,
they're asking if you have any great experiences in the pageant. What's your
oh,
best
I have plenty.
experience? What's your best experience?
Um, I think probably my best experience is probably with the girls, and this is probably sounds like a really pat answer, but I had really great. This is probably one of my favorite pageants when it comes to the girls. My sister queens. I even I think one of the nights was my favorite. We were at Hot Pot, and it was a sponsored dinner, and we were just it felt like more like a girls' night. It was a smaller group, and we could really connect, and we just had a great time. Um, and of course, the beautiful places we got to travel to, Ninh Binh and things like that. There's just I think the connection with the girls kind of takes it because there is just a lot of trauma and a lot of different things surrounding a lot of the pageant events and things like that. So I think the connection with the girls was the best part about it because a lot of the other things were tainted by trauma and different things. So, but the girls and the fans, oh my gosh, getting to see the fans and meet everyone that I wanted to meet for so long, that was so fun, so amazing. And a lot of the people that I didn't even really get to like give a hug or anything, I was just got to wave, but it went right into my heart. I think especially after Best of the World Festival, where I got to see everyone and I was saying hi to everyone while getting on the bus, and I was on the bus and waving at everyone. Um, Love you guys. Love you guys so much. So I think the fans and Vietnam and the girls were the best part.
They want
Yeah.
to know how you're coping with the trauma.
Yeah. My mom just read a comment. They want to know how I'm coping with the trauma. I'm not sleeping very well, that's for sure. I don't know if you guys were here for the part where I was multiple times, like, because my roommate and I had to share a bed in our apartment. In the middle of the night, I would be dreaming or something, and I'd roll over and I'd shake my roommate awake in an emergency, like, we gotta go, run. So, um, we did that, or that happened multiple times, and
It's deep in there.
Yeah, it's pretty deep in there, so I'm not sleeping great. I slept better. Yeah, I more internalized everything. Um, so that's not great. It's something I'm gonna have to work on a little bit. But I laugh, but it's not a laughing issue. It's just I don't like to have the victim mentality or things like that. But it's just I'll overcome it. Unbreakable spirit. I don't have the victim mentality. It is what it is. This is life, and we're gonna get through it. And I have people to support me through it. And I know that I'll have the support of the other girls, and I'll support the other girls as well, like I have been the whole time. You know.
Yeah, they're watching. Some of the girls were watching earlier. Yeah, I saw some familiar names.
Oh yay! I think they're I thought they were at the crowning ceremony. I hope they were there, or not the
Yeah,
coronation party, the after party.
a few of the girls were watching you. Like,
Aw.
yeah, I
Well, if you
saw.
guys are still here, hi, I love you. I'm gonna message y'all back. I just haven't been able to.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, but yeah, so and again, thank you guys for sticking with me. I have a fever. And it's just
Are you okay now? Are you
I,
feeling better as you speak?
I still have a fever, and someone was commenting my eyes were different. Yes, my eyes they're better today. The last 2 days they've not been good. They were going like separate directions and really swollen and all that. I still have my tailbone injury from when I fell. Both my ankles are still sprained. Um, and my neck's improved a little bit because I had a pinched nerve and it would go all the way into my arm. My arm was numb, but my elbow was hurting, and then like it would go all the way into my back. It was just a lot. It was a lot. Acupuncture has helped a great amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm improving. Sleep has helped a lot. But yesterday I felt like magnets were closing my eyes, so I was just my doctors told me just sleep, 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 sleep. That's what their advice has been. Even when I was in Ninbin, they're like, you need sleep. You they're like, you need to sleep. I didn't even tell them that I hadn't rested a lot, but
Yeah,
they uh,
just
they knew.
yeah, your top priority right now should be focusing on getting yourself back on track 100%. Like you're from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, you need to be healthy again.
Working on it. Definitely
And of
working
course
on
your and of course your mindset. Like I didn't really have any doubt that you'd be a weak-minded person because we have been spending a lot of time together and I see how determined and resilient you are, even if during the time when we found out that you were not sent with the important documents, so not a weak spot in you. I'm really, really happy. I mean, your body's a different story. Like, your physical health is a different story, but your mental health, I just salute you. And I know that, those evil comments, they won't get to you, it won't crawl
definitely not.
under your skin. Yeah, you're a tough cookie. You're a tough cookie.
Well,
And
thank you.
yeah, you just need to focus on getting your eyes in the same direction, okay? At least.
Yeah. I sent you the selfie if they were like going separate ways.
Yeah.
One was like over here. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And Krista and I were making fun of it.
yeah, yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been
You
quite the journey, and I don't regret it because I met a lot of great girls and I had a lot of great experiences. I got to go to Vietnam and I got to experience the amazing, beautiful Vietnam. So it's just
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
again,
been intense, but
And your photo shoot, you never had anything like that in your life?
oh yeah. My mom made a good point when I first got to Ho Chi Minh and I had that amazing photo shoot in my gowns. I never had anything like that in my life. It was incredible. The hair artist, the makeup artist, the photographers, and there was a diamond sponsor there that I got to wear the real diamonds. I was like, "Oh my goodness."
then the
It
more
was
you need to release the
amazing.
photos, then the more you need to release the photos of you with the
I
gowns.
will. You know what? I'll go if I don't conk out and crash right after this. I'll post because
But
I
take your time, of course. Take your time.
well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we just
Um,
want to see you, you just want to see what would you have, I mean, what would you look like, you know, had you been able to compete and the prelims and the finals, the prelims gown is to die for. I really want to see it again in you because I just saw it with the mannequin. I want to see you wearing it.
Oh, shall we? I will. I know. I just, it's a kind of emotional look back at those two because I'm like, oh, what if I had competed? What if I had done this? And then I'm like, no, I don't. I don't regret it because it was just, like I said, integrity above all, and I, it worked out the way it was supposed to. I have faith in that, you know. So,
Yeah.
but I'll be posting the photos so you guys can see. And so many people put so much work into that photo shoot and so much like heart and soul into that. So I wanna show it off. So y'all are about to get spammed with gown photos.
Yeah, so we're just waiting. We're just waiting. But first, again, prioritize your health. Make sure that you're recharged 100%. And we're just here for you. We're just here cheering on you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And I see a lot of comments are still rolling in. Feel free to, if you guys have questions or comments, feel free to send me a DM or leave me a comment. I'll try to answer everyone now that I'm back on social media. But
I,
if I don't get
I
to
think
it immediately, please forgive me because I've got a lot going on.
maybe you need to rest. I mean, I'm worried about
I was about to say
you,
I'll
okay?
probably be resting a little bit more before I um, get back fully on social media, but I'm gonna try. So.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
see those donkeys.
Yeah, my mom was like, "You're gonna go see those donkeys." I'm like, "Yes, I am. Yes, I
Yeah.
am." They
Yeah, we
they
want
were
to
they,
see it again with the donkeys.
they were they were a little bit mad at me when I first came home, and I was a little bit disappointed because they were just upset that I'd left them for so long. And then the next day, I went out there, and Zeke, the baby, he leapt on me. He's like 300 pounds. The adults are 400 pounds, 450 pounds, somewhere around there.
Almost 500.
Yeah, almost 500 pounds, but Zeke is around 300. So it just, he hopped on me, and I was like, "Whoa, buddy, I'm not strong enough for this right now." Um, but yeah, it was amazing to be back home and see them. Um, yeah, man, these comments are so interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I wish I could go back and read these comments.
I mean,
Yeah, some
you
people.
can,
One person, are you asked, are you worried about the repercussions? I mean, that's kind of why I waited to, be back home and be in my own environment and everything before going live and talking about everything. Because, the repercussions are probably not going to be great, but, I don't want any one of my pattern sisters to feel alone in this because I know a lot of them are very upset and very disheartened and they're upset with the organization. They're upset with a lot of things that have happened. Will they speak up? I don't know. It's their choice. It's up to them. I'm not going to push them to do it. I'm not going to say they shouldn't do it. But I'm going to be here for them if they need it. And I'm going to tell the truth. Because
yeah.
standing up for myself and standing up for others is not something I'm afraid of, even if it comes with repercussions. It is what it is.
And these are your experiences.
Yeah, my mom said, "These are your experiences." Yep, these are my experiences. So,
Yeah. We want you to build your own pageant.
if someone wants to sponsor that, let's go.
I mean,
Hi, Juanma.
yeah.
Yeah,
They were asking,
that's the one.
are you going to file a lawsuit?
I'm not sure if I should really answer that on here.
That's right. Right.
I'll probably wait on that. Probably wait on that answer.
Yeah. I mean, it's very risky to answer those kinds of questions because we all know that this live is being watched by a lot of people around the world. They
Definitely,
might
yeah. So
wonder,
some people, we started talking about donkeys, and they're like, "Okay, she's done with the pageant stuff." So a lot of people, like 500, 600 people, hopped off. But
yeah, yeah, but it's, yeah, I think it's also the fact that it's already 10 in the
oh
evening here and
my
it's a Monday
God,
tomorrow.
I'm sorry, guys. I tried really hard to scrape myself out of bed. It's just my health is still not great. So
I had a live yesterday, like early morning, like 3 in the morning. We were talking about it, and they were really anticipating this live. And
oh,
for you to show up, I mean, it's all worth the wait. Like they were all waiting not just for the tea, but of course they're also concerned on your whereabouts. Basically, like, are you okay? Are you breathing? Are you are you still there, like that? So yeah, most of the questions I got from the live were really concerned about you. Like they're really concerned about you. They're worried about your health and stuff like that. And of course, most of them are also asking about the tea. Yeah. So yeah, and we're happy
Yeah.
you're here.
Well, thank you, and thank you to everyone who's been concerned and everything. Just everything that happened, with and during the pageant, it hasn't affected how I feel about Vietnam or the people or the fans or anything
Of
like that.
course.
Everyone who's shown me support and love, it's just thank you very, very, very much, especially through
Will you
these
go
through these
back to
times.
Vietnam in the future?
Hmm?
Will you go back to Vietnam in the future?
Oh,
Like not right
I
now.
would love to. Absolutely. It was so beautiful and everyone was just stunning and it was it was a stunning place and the people were very warm. And the respect like here in the States, you always give respect to people, but a lot of times you don't get it back. The amazing thing about Vietnam is if you have that respect towards people, they're going to respect you right back. And it's just a way of life for them and I love that. It was a beautiful thing to experience.
And
So,
you
and
should take
the culture is stunning. The food amazing. Oh my gosh.
and I think you should take Jennifer and Krista about it because they're being envious about the prices of the products there, like the food and the medicine and everything.
Yeah,
We were so hungry.
absolutely. Yeah, because my mom and sister have seen all the videos and everything. They're like, oh my gosh, yada yada. I wish I was there. I'm like, I wish y'all were here too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the medical
Especially
treatment was top notch, top
yes.
notch, and especially because
Especially
the
with the
price was so,
medicine.
what?
Especially with the traditional medicines. Like Jennifer was talking in the group chat and she was like, oh, I wish we could buy it something like that. It's too expensive here, but there it's too cheap.
I know it was amazing because uh like the acupuncture was highly top notch, and here in the States it would have been very expensive, but I was able to get treated very, very well over there. And it was wonderful because I was able to go back each day and still be able to afford it.
Were,
So,
were you able to buy medicine from there?
so what?
Were you able to buy medicine from there? Like, were you able to bring some of them home?
I brought my prescriptions. I didn't bring anything because I was prescribed a lot.
I mean, yeah,
Between my
like,
between my lung between my
yes, yes.
lungs and my head and everything, I was prescribed a good amount.
And you
Um,
brought with you too.
Yeah, I brought a lot with me from home because I brought my first aid kit plus my little pharmacy for like injuries or herbal antibiotics and different things like that. Um, uh, yeah, hang on. I think I saw a question. Yeah, I think Juanma was asking if it was my health or if it was other reasons that I didn't compete. It was mostly for the other reasons. My health definitely contributed to it, but the reason my health went downwards was because of, my national director and because of a lot of things within the organization. So that was the rough part. So it kind of goes hand in hand, but you know, it's
So happy
uh,
to see the Filipinos defending you in the comments.
oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It's just I don't think it was fair what happened to Atiza to be accused of all that. I don't think that was fair at all.
They said, "Were you a
And
Girl
and
Scout?"
and you mentioned
Oh,
last time that Atisa messaged you when you withdrew, like, right?
what did you say?
Uh, when you withdrew from the competition, you told me Atisa messaged you, right?
Yeah, a bunch of the girls at Atiza messaged me. Miss Vietnam messaged me. A bunch of the girls did. And it was very, very sweet. And I haven't answered them because I've been off of social media, but I saw it. And I'm gonna answer y'all and congratulate y'all. Um, so, I'm very, very, very proud of each of the girls. And again, I think you were asking me how I felt about final, but the only thing I wish is that the girls could have had an opportunity to shine more because it's just I could tell that they were not not up to their normal energy and everything like that. So I just wish. But
Yeah.
everyone still looked amazing and did an amazing job. I just wish, yeah, they were all beautiful. I just wish, they could have had more rest and maybe there would have been less injuries also if they'd been able to rest a little bit more.
Are they going home already? Like, are you aware if they're gonna go home already, or are they supposed to stay another day?
I think if I'm not wrong, there is a coronation party. I think it's going on right now. What time is it? I think it's going on right now.
Yeah, yeah.
The after party, and I think most girls are going home after. But I did see on the chat, because I'm still in the chat, that some girls couldn't stay long because they had to pack and things like that. So I'm not sure.
So most
Um,
of the girls will be leaving Vietnam tomorrow,
I
right?
I think so. Some girls
Yeah.
may be staying longer. I don't know. So,
They want to know if you want to come to the Philippines.
oh yeah, yes, I want to come to the Philippines. Absolutely. I
Oh
want to go
my gosh, you
everywhere.
should.
Oh my gosh,
You should.
yeah.
You should, girl. We should meet in person.
That'd be amazing. That would be incredible. I hear the Philippines is stunning.
Yeah,
Stunning, stunning.
it's the same as Thailand and Vietnam, but it's
Ah.
doesn't rain a lot here compared to
Mhm.
there because I mean right now it's raining a lot in Thailand and Vietnam, but here it's not raining that much. So and you will
Gotcha.
enjoy the food and there is a Chinatown here that sells a lot of really good Chinese food and medicine, so
Ooh.
you will enjoy it. The massages are
So,
like the massages are
Jackie,
like
you're going with
five.
me?
Yes, the massages are like $5 for an hour. So,
Well, that'll
yeah,
work out my nerve. That'll work out my nerve pain.
yeah, I think Jennifer would love that too.
Yes, yes. My family has to come next time.
You
Because
should,
we couldn't
you should.
afford to have everyone go to Vietnam this time.
Yeah, but
So
tell
maybe when we come to the
me,
Philippines.
tell me when you're about to go here, okay?
Oh, of course. Ah,
Yeah, duh,
absolutely.
you're gonna be, yeah, you're gonna be seeing a lot of the Filipino hospitality here. Like,
Oh, well, I can't wait. If it's anything like the Vietnamese hospitality over there, I'm going to be absolutely thrilled. I
yeah,
loved every experience, and I can't wait for more, hopefully. So,
yes, that's right.
yeah. But if anyone doesn't have any more questions, I'm getting really tired here.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna hold the
I'm
fort
really
for you.
dragging.
I'm gonna hold the fort for you. Like, if they have questions.
Okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, we love you,
Well,
London. We love
I
you,
love
Jen.
you
We love you,
too.
Priscilla.
Yeah, they
Love
just
you.
they're nodding. They said they love you too.
Yeah.
I thank you to everyone who supported me and to the people who don't understand. That's okay. I love you guys anyway.
Love you.
And just thank you for still bringing awareness to this. So, thank you.
Can you
Mwah.
do this? Can you do
Of
this for
course.
the fans?
I don't have my nails done anymore, but
Yes. Yeah, we love you guys. London loves you guys. I think, yeah, you should rest now. All right?
thank you, thank you.
We don't
I'm
want,
going to.
yeah,
You
we
guys
don't want
probably
to
won't
see
hear
you.
from me for a while. I'm gonna be napping.
Yeah. We don't want to see you missing out of the frame because you fell and you fell asleep.
Exactly. I fell off my perch.
Also doing hair
Yeah.
and makeup, right?
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I kept on, but the hair and makeup artists, I have to rave about them for a second. The hair and makeup artists were amazing. I was falling asleep in the hair and makeup chair, and they were just okay. They just propped my head up, and they were just helping me. They're like, ugh. They're so talented, so amazing. And I had quite a few makeup artists, and each one of them were just equally as talented. I love them.
That's
So anyway,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
fall asleep in the
But
makeup chair. They're very understanding.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think we should call it a day.
definitely. Well, it's still early in the day, but I think I will take a
Do you want
Take a
to?
nap. Take
Yeah.
all the you want,
And
okay?
thank you to the Cosmo staff who, our general managers and the staff and the girls, everyone, they were absolutely incredible. And I want to make sure that everything that I've said about, a lot of the promises and different things like that from Cosmo does not reflect onto them, because my heart is with them, and truly believe their heart's with me. Like, they are amazing, and I love them so much. They took very good care of me and very good care of all the girls, as best they could, as best as they possibly could. I know a lot of the staff fought for us to get rest, and they fought for us to, have time to rest and recuperate and everything like that. And they fought for us to get good meals, and things like that. So it's just, yeah, they fought for us to get water, bathroom breaks, things like that. So thank you to them. And you guys know who you are. I love you so much. So, so, so much. I love you guys.
So I guess thank you so much, London, and get some rest. I'll
Thank
take
you.
the fort I'll hold the fort now. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Sounds good. Bye, guys. I love you.
Bye. Bye.